Welcome to the first Thomas the Think Engine video blog. The endowment effect describes a quirk of human behaviour. It's about the difference between how much we might pay to get something and how much we'd accept to relinquish it. The most famous proponent of the theory is Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman. Daniel Kahneman writes about a famous experiment at Cornell University. Half the students in a lecture were given mugs. Then they were given the chance to sell them. The ones that got the mugs wouldn't sell them because they put a much higher value on the mugs than the students that didn't get them. Once the mugs were theirs, they became precious. The endowment effect can have effects in real life too. I think it explains something really interesting about my suburb. The Thomas the Think Engine blog comes to you from the inner Melbourne suburb of Clifton Hill. You can see its beautiful streetscapes rolling by behind me. Clifton Hill is a left-leaning suburb, but it's also a very conservative one. The suburb has a really strong heritage overlay that means you don't get much of that sort of high-density development. You get a lot more of this, period homes retaining their original facades. You might expect that in a suburb like this, if you put forward a proposal for a 3-storey drinking establishment with a bar, a bottle shop, a restaurant and accommodation for society's less fortunate types, you might get a pretty negative reaction. But the reality is, such an establishment already exists in Clifton Hill. The pub is far larger than the buildings that surround it. It casts shadows, it has no setback from the footpath, it attracts crowds day and night who spill out onto the street drinking, smoking and making noise. Is there a groundswell of opposition? Far from it. The pub is so popular, it is even a feature of real estate advertisements. And the various Save Our Suburbs organisations would no doubt be able to mobilise big crowds to defend it if it were at risk of redevelopment. The lesson I take from all of this is that in planning and development, we should heed the advice of the late Steve Jobs. A lot of the time, people don't know what they want until you show it to them.